Do you have a favorite fan theory that you've read?
I mean, this Whittaker Robbie one is just delicious.
Even if you haven't watched it, you've heard of HBO's medical show, The Pitt, taking all the award storms by storm, and for a good reason. The series is fantastic, with its hectic pacing and high stakes, but the most interesting aspect of it, at least to me, are still the characters, because boy, do they get developed during that one day. But I'm not going to discuss the character development. I'm not going to pretend I know what I'm talking about. No, instead, I'd like to bring to your attention a very cool phenomenon happening as we speak, which I'd like to call reverse queerbaiting. The characters affected by it are the attending, Dr. Robbie, and one of his student doctors, Dennis Whittaker. And in the show, their relationship is perfectly neutral, very proper and ordinary, a teacher and a student. Dennis is busy with a string of bad luck, and Robbie's busy with his passive suicidal ideation. There's nothing suspicious in the show. And yet, October 2025, TikTok users post edits to the trending song. Society collapses. What do you mean, Whittaker and Robbie? What do you mean an age gap, power imbalance, completely unethical workplace yaoi? And we ate it up. Huckle Robbie edits spread like the plague, despite being made, let me remind you, out of nothing. I think girlies must have used all the scenes those two share and then, with some ancient magic, made it look incredibly sus, because how did I not notice the big Pitt's constant manhandling of the little Pitt? Why are you always touching him, sir? This edit is the only reason I have watched this show. And while I'm sure it would have been a huge hit anyway, I know I'm not the only one. Many of us had started watching with expectations of toxic romantic drama and found none. Editors have straight up made it up. And if you're watching this video, you know it all, but I'd like to emphasize that this was not the writer's idea. Some people with great minds and vivid imaginations created this ship and made it look convincing. So convincing that it's the most popular topic of fan works, so convincing that the chronically online part of the cast made the other actors aware of it.
What's your favorite fan theory?
I'm very online, so I see everything.
I know a lot of stuff because Supriya sends me things.
That's why I was asking. I knew she would. She researches. I know she's the one that unfortunately enlightened us all to the fanfic.
That's not real.
So, before the premiere of season 2, the cast had been making tiny little remarks that they see us.
I see a lot of Whittaker fan edits on TikTok, fan theories. Do you pay attention to any of that?
No, I mean, you know, there are things that have been put in front of me.
And as vocal as they may be, as passionate as they may be about wanting to ship Robbie and Huckleberry, that doesn't necessarily mean that we have to pay attention.
Oh my god. Now, Wiley and Garan Howell learned about the worst idea anyone has ever had, and I can't tell you their opinions on it, but they don't seem very enthusiastic.
And I'm sure some of them will be mortified if they knew the actors were seeing it, you know what I mean?
Contrary to Isa Briones and Supriya Ganesh. And to HBO Nordic's TikTok account, which published a full-blown Huckle Robbie all this touching edit 3 weeks before the season premiere. See, when those first edits dropped, no one actually believed in this relationship, right? No one believed this thing entirely made up by fans would be made canon. And while it's very gratifying to see the cast and the other channels join in the fun of our shared delusion, it being a shared delusion is one of its best aspects. You have to be online to know it. You have to be a part of the fandom to get why this is exciting. Seeing HBO join in the fun made me personally stress that they'd fuck it up. That in a misjudged attempt at fan service, they'd have Whittaker suddenly turn into a blushing, mumbling mess around Robbie, which would ruin both their characters and the show's aura of grounded realism. But no, the writers made the best possible choice. In season 2, so far, there were a few scenes between Whittaker and Robbie that feel completely neutral to your usual viewer. But if you are a Huckle Robbie believer, you are being fed. People in the fandom are perfectly able to, through the power of confirmation bias, turn all that into new toxic workplace yaoi material. The writers are dancing on the razor's edge, and they just made a fucking flip with Robbie's offer to have Danny's house sit for him during his sabbatical. I'd say it's possible that the scene was added after Hackle Robbie's explosion in popularity. Maybe not, because objectively, this is terrifying. This man's ideation clearly went from passive to active. He's giving away his possessions, and yet there were other ways to convey that? Ways that did not include, Whittaker, you gotta have boundaries, but also wanna move into my house? No women allowed. Instead of your usual queerbaiting, which is the writers suggesting two characters of the same gender, hopelessly devoted to each other, will get together at some point, getting the fans excited, and then never doing that, we have writers writing two perfectly friendly characters, the fans making shit up and being super loud about it, and then the writers going, huh. Plot-wise, I have no idea what will happen next. I hope it's Langdon that clogs Robbie before he leaves, mirroring their arc from the last season. But in terms of the writers handling the internet's latest obsession, this is Masterclass. This is having your cake and eating it too. Do you agree? Are you a fellow delusion enthusiast or are you a bad person? Chances are I'll have more to say once the season is over, so if you enjoyed this video, you should probably subscribe. Bye.